it's Megan. So today I'm going to bring you guys my February empties, and unfortunately, despite all of my hoping that I wouldn't get sick again, I am indeed sick again. So I'm kind of in a miserable mood, and it's like sleeting and snowing, and it's gonna be terrible weather, and it's just one of those days or something, I guess. But I'm going to show you my empties, which makes me excited. And I'm going to start with my Project Pan empties from earlier this month. And you know how loud Ulta bags are, so I'm just going to dump everything out and just run over the things that I used up. The Clean and Clear Makeup Dissolving Facial Cleansing Wipes. I loved these. I think that these are even better to me than the Neutrogena ones, and I would definitely repurchase these. These were just a free sample that my sister got with something, and I love them. The Hempz Treats Peaches and Cream Body Lotion. Ugh, I did not like this at all. It's just so overwhelmingly strong, and I'm never gonna buy another Hempz Treats body lotion again because both of the ones that I had, I just couldn't stand them. This, I'm so sad, is used up. Lovestruck by Vera Wang perfume. This I bought on a whim at Marshall's one time when it was $15, and it's one of my favorite fragrances I've ever smelled. I just absolutely love it and would definitely repurchase that. The Ziaja Daytime Goat Milk Cream that Anna sent me, and I did like this, but I didn't love it enough to have her go out of her way to get it for me again. But it was a nice basic day cream, but I felt like I went through this pretty quickly, which is surprising. But that was that. The St. Ives Oatmeal Scrub and Mask, and I did like this for when my skin was dry and I wanted to have a scrub but also have it be moisturized. I thought this was a really good mixture of both of those things, but the one thing that annoyed me about this was that it never felt like all of the little like exfoliating particles got washed away, no matter if I did it with my hands and like try to rinse them off that way or with a washcloth or a muslin cloth. They were just always like the little tiny granules, some were always left behind on my face, and I really didn't like that. So for that reason, I probably wouldn't purchase that. I used up the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Brightening Eye Perfector in Fair, and this is one of my favorite under eye concealers, or one of the better under eye concealers that I've tried. This comes with a ton of product compared to the Maybelline or the L'Oreal ones that I've tried in the past, and I did like this, but I didn't find it to be the best for not looking dry under my eyes. It was better than ones that I've tried before, but it's still not that great. But I did just order the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer last night because Urban Decay is having 20% off their website for this week, and I thought that it would be a really good time to try that. It had really good reviews on being a nice under eye concealer, so I'm going to try that and see how that goes. But this one I prefer over the L'Oreal and the Maybelline, but it still isn't exactly what I'm looking for. I love this, the Laura Mercier Universal Invisible Loose Setting Powder. This was just a small size I got with a lauramercier.com order, and this was fabulous. This is something I'm definitely considering purchasing in the future, and it's just a really nice setting powder after you do your foundation or your tinted moisturizer and you just want to set that. This is a beautiful, beautiful powder. It doesn't look really white. It's just truly translucent. It's wonderful, and I definitely would recommend that. Another thing I loved was the Fresh Seaberry Moisturizing Face Oil. This is awesome. This is something I am intending on purchasing during the Sephora VIB sale. I'm on another small size like this right now, and I'm almost done with that. This is just awesome. It has sea buckthorn oil in it, which is super, super healing for your skin. It's absolutely wonderful, and I don't love the smell. If you guys have ever tried Cebu sea buckthorn seed products, it smells very, very similar to those, but I honestly love this so much, and the scent doesn't bother me enough that I wouldn't buy it. It's just so, so nice. I love that. The MAC False Lashes Mascara. I haven't been impressed by any MAC mascara that I've tried. It's just, I don't know, it just leaves so much to be desired. I didn't even like actually finish this completely up, but when I was done with this project, I was like, see ya, I'm just never gonna really try MAC mascaras again. None of them have impressed me. The Buxom Lash Mascara, this I liked, but I didn't love it enough to purchase it. It has a cool rubber hourglass shape brush, and I did like it, but it's definitely not something I loved enough to purchase it. And finally, I used up the Philosophy Cranberry Medley Hand Cream, and I liked the smell of this. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's just kind of a cozy scent, but it's not a scent that I would ever seek out to purchase. And I don't think Philosophy hand creams are particularly moisturizing, so I wouldn't really recommend that. So those were the things I used up in my project pan, and now onto normal empties. I'll start with the makeup that I used up, and I used, or I'm getting rid of 2 mascaras. The first one, I had to get rid of this even though I've been holding on to it for so long because of sentimental reasons. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Waterproof Carbon Black Mascara, and grossly enough, this was the mascara I used for my graduation, and I graduated in May of 2014, and so it's almost been an entire year, which I can't even comprehend that. It doesn't seem like it's been almost an entire year since I graduated college, but it has been, and so I just have to get rid of this. I really love Carbon Black, and for my graduation I knew that I might cry, and I did, and so I'm glad that I had a waterproof version, but Voluminous is my absolute favorite mascara, so definitely would repurchase. This, I don't usually buy high-end mascaras, but I bought this Laura Mercier Faux Lash Mascara, and it comes in this nice sleek tube, and it has a giant brush, like seriously giant. Let me compare it next to Voluminous, because I love Voluminous's brush, but this huge one is the Laura Mercier, and this is Voluminous. It makes Voluminous look like itty bitty. So it's definitely a learning curve with this giant brush. And I did like it. It did give me nice volume, but it's not something I would repurchase, and it's just been flaking on me recently. So definitely not for me something that I would repurchase or say is worth the money, but it was fun to try out a fancy mascara, and it wasn't too expensive compared to other high-end brands, but no, I wouldn't purchase that again. Alright, what else? I used up 2 samples of the NARS Tinted Moisturizer in Alaska, which is Light 2. This is something I've been interested in for quite some time, and I did like it, but I don't think I will purchase it, even though I have it on my wish list as kind of like a tentative, I'm not sure if I'm going to buy it or not, just because it's very, very glowy, and my skin isn't oily, it's pretty much normal, and I wore this, obviously it's freezing outside, so I've been wearing this in the winter, and I look very shiny, which I don't hate necessarily, but when I look in the mirror, it just doesn't look like I want my skin to look like. So I'm really glad that I tried out these samples to see if I liked this foundation or this tinted moisturizer, but I don't think I'll be purchasing this, so I'm glad that I got to try it. Lastly, for makeup, I used up the Jack Black Lip Balm SPF 25. This is one of my favorite lip balms. I love carrying this in my purse and in my pocket. It's just wonderful. It's just a little squeezy tube. I always get the natural mint and shea butter, so it smells amazing like mint, and it has SPF, which is awesome. So I've repurchased this time and time again and will continue to do so. Alright. For my hair dye, I recently dyed it, and I used the John Frieda Precision Foam Color in 3VR Deep Cherry Brown, and I love this color. It's really nice. It's a deep, rich, like, color, but it has that red undertone to it, and I especially like getting dark colors with a red undertone, so when they fade, it just looks really pretty and like nice and red, and John Frieda Precision Foam Color is the only hair dye that I've ever used that I would truly recommend and have purchased countless times. So definitely would repurchase that. I used up 2 of the Philosophy shower gels that I had bought from Marshall's at the beginning of this year. I finished up Cinnamon Twirl and Cranberry Twirl. And so you can see the color of Cranberry Twirl was like a bright red, and then Cinnamon Twirl was kind of like a brownish terracotta color. And I liked both of these okay, but I don't think I will ever repurchase Philosophy shower gels. I have 2 others that I'm going to be working through, but I just don't see the value in spending this much more on a shower gel because, I don't know, these scents at least, weren't my favorite. It's not like I hated them, but I realized, I don't know if this is really weird, but I realized I kind of like hold my breath in the shower. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't smell my shower products because I'm kind of like holding my breath or something. So it's basically not worth it to me to buy expensive shower gels that are basically only expensive because of the scents. So I wouldn't repurchase Philosophy shower gels, but I'm just trying to work through those. Whispers 100% cotton rounds, and this was an 80 count. I think they changed the type, like, of cotton that they use, or like the type of, I don't know, they don't seem the same as they have been before. So instead of buying Whispers after I use up all of the ones that I have, because I always buy a 3-pack, I'm gonna continue to get the Target Up and Up brand cotton rounds because I like the texture, or like the way that they are, I don't know, put together better. These just seem a little more flimsy than they ever were before, which is so surprising to me. But so I have always recommended these to you guys, but honestly I like the Up and Up ones better. I used up the Island Paradise Pineapple Mango Exotic Exfoliating Sugar Scrub. And this I got from Marshall's. It was $5.99. And I did like the scent of this. It was really nice. But I don't know. I don't really like scrubs in pots, which you guys know. And I don't know. I'm like kind of conflicted on body scrubs right now. I have a few on my wish list that I still want to try that are more natural, which I think I would rather go down that route than buying, I don't know. These just seem kind of chemically to me. There's a lot of ingredients in this, which there's a lot of ingredients in everything, but I kind of want to go the more natural route or just make them myself. So I don't know. I'm neither here nor there on scrubs right now, but I did like the scent of this, but I wouldn't repurchase it. Okay. Was that helpful? I doubt it. All right. Giovanni 2 Chic Brazilian Keratin and Argan Oil Ultra Sleek Shampoo. I love this. I continue to repurchase it. This one, it like the cap wouldn't close at the end, so it was like leaking all over the place and it wasted some product, but I continue to purchase this time and time again. I love Giovanni. I love this shampoo. It's nice and moisturizing, but not too moisturizing for my hair type, and I love that it's natural. And sometimes these have like a $2 off coupon on them, so check out like those. Like if you're at a store that has Giovanni, see if there's one with like a $2 coupon because it'll save you some money. Alright, I used up the Dr. Dennis Gross Alpha Beta Peel Pads, and this was a 30 count, and I bought these last April, I believe, so these almost lasted me an entire year because I use them very sparingly. I probably use them once every other week. I only used it when I felt like my skin needed it, and I've kind of had like an epiphany over the past few days and I guess weeks or so that I just want to be really, really nourishing to my skin. And maybe these treatments that I've always thought were so amazing and help my skin look nice and clear are not exactly what I want to be doing to my skin. Maybe I don't really want to use as much chemical exfoliants and stuff like that, and it's just something I'm playing around with in my mind. So I'm not going to repurchase these, at least for a while. I do really love these, and I would recommend you buying them off of Amazon or waiting for a sale at Sephora or something, because these are ridiculously expensive for what they are. But I did really love them, and I thought that they kept my skin looking nice, but I'm going to try to go more of a nourishing route for my skin and just see how that goes. So, not saying I will never repurchase these, but just for now, I'm going to see how things go with my skin, just doing more, I don't know, more not stripping things to my skin, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Alright, Bausch & Lomb Bio True Contact Lens Solution. I don't know why I put this in here, but it just helps me prove to myself that I used up contact lens solution, and it also helps me gauge how long it takes me to use up these kind of things. But I buy the Bio True. You can often find coupons for them, and sometimes online they'll have a free travel size if you sign up, and so I just keep buying that. Also kind of a boring thing is toothpaste. I always use Colgate Optic White now. I love this toothpaste. I used to be so loyal to the Crest 3D White, but they have like little tiny flecks of it's a blue in it, and it would get stuck in my gums, and I just heard bad things about that, and it freaked me out. Colgate Optic White is a completely white toothpaste. It's nice and minty, and I think that it helps maintain my teeth looking white. So I have purchased this for, I would say, about at least 3 or 4 months continuously, and I'm never looking back. I use this Bath & Body Works Black Amethyst Body Lotion. I found this in my sister in my bathroom. I was cleaning out some drawers and I found this, and I love the Black Amethyst scent. Oh, it's one of my favorites. So this was nice to use. I don't really like the Bath & Body Works normal body lotions, but I would maybe buy like the Triple Moisture Body Cream in this scent or a shower gel, because I was reminded how much I love that. I used up a 3 pack of the Alpha Beta pads in extra strength from Dr. Dennis Gross, and so the 30 count that I used up were just the normal, and these were the extra strength, which were a 100 point perk or like a coupon code on Sephora, and I really like these, but I honestly can't tell a difference. I honestly can't. I'm sure like the extra strength is better in some ways, but I honestly didn't see a difference between them. So the extra strength ones are, I believe, more expensive than the original, and the originals are already expensive. But I have another pack that I'm going through of these, and like I said, we'll see how I feel about repurchasing those in the future. Oh, this was nice. This was the Laura Mercier Amber Vanille Souffle Body Cream, and this was just a small travel size that I had, and oh, it smelled so nice. I don't think I would purchase this though. It was really nice, and I would definitely love to have another sample of it, and I love this scent. It's the right type of warm vanilla-y scent that I really love, but I don't know, it just seems too expensive for me for a body lotion, but it definitely was nice, and I love the scent of it. Okay, I used this the other day, the Deborah Lippmann, the Stripper To Go for Go-Go Girls Lavender Nail Lacquer Remover Finger Mitt. And so I kept it in here. It looks gross because I used it, but it's just like a little mitt that is saturated in nail polish solution or nail polish remover. And so you can just easily take off your nail polish, and I thought it was okay, but I would never purchase that. These might be nice, like, for in your purse, or if you're traveling or something and you didn't want to take nail polish remover or something, but honestly I don't do that kind of thing enough to make it worth it, but it definitely is a good idea. I used a sample of the Cover FX Creamy Concealer, and I used N Light. There's 2 other colors, but they're way too dark for me. This was a pretty like peachy toned concealer for being called neutral. And that's fine, but I used it under my eyes because I thought that it would be nice to like cancel out kind of the bluish tone under my eyes, and it was nice for that. I don't think I would purchase it though, but it was a really nice concealer formula. I used a sample of the Boschia Tsubaki Oil Infused Exfoliating Powder, and this is one of those exfoliating powder exfoliants, and Natasha sent me this sample, and it was just like a white powder with some different color speckles in it, and it was nice, but I still like the nude skincare exfoliating powder better than this one, but it was nice. Okay, this I had to mention. I have another one of these, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. This is the Bliss That's Incredipeel Spa Strength Glycolic Resurfacing Pads. And so I kept it in here. Okay, so it looks like this. Like, it's kind of weird. It has like holes, like dots in it, and it's a weird shape. And when you get it out of this little packet, it is extremely, extremely slippery. Like, it has so much solution, it's really slippery. Even now, this like material is kind of slippery in my hand. So it's basically impossible to get a grip of it. So you're like trying to slide it around your face and it's like slipping, and it's like, it's just not a pleasant experience. So I did not like that at all. I love the Bliss face mask that you guys know I love, but this, I did not like this at all. I thought that it was horrible, and like I said, I might just give the other sample away to someone else, or I might give it another shot, but I did not like that. I used up the Ole Henriksen Sheer Transformation Cream, and this is one of my favorite moisturizers. I don't think I would purchase it for the full price, but I love trying to find it at Marshall's or like getting it on sale in like kits and stuff, and I definitely would purchase it again in that way, but I would never pay the full price for this. It's a very basic moisturizer, which is what I personally like, and some people don't think that a basic moisturizer is worth this much money, which it's probably not, but I still prefer my Nature by Candice Goat Milk Cream over this. So that's what I'll be purchasing in the future, but I'm going through another container of this right now and I'm loving every second of it. So it's definitely something I would recommend. This stuff is awesome. This is the Neutrogena T-Sal Therapeutic Shampoo for Scalp Buildup Control. And this is really awesome if you get an itchy scalp, or if you deal with dandruff or just buildup from either like your natural hair, or you use a lot of products in your hair. This stuff is fantastic. It's kind of expensive for this small size. They also have a large T-Sal that's not called the Scalp Buildup Control, but this is what I prefer. This is the first one I finished, but I have repurchased it. And this is just great when I have an itchy scalp, which happens, I don't know, every few weeks or so. And I just really want to basically exfoliate my scalp, and this stuff makes my hair feel amazing. It doesn't leave it feeling stripped or anything, which is very surprising for something that is basically a like clarifying type of a product. But it just really makes my hair feel wonderful, and if I didn't have color treated hair, I would probably use this more than I do, because I don't want to use it too much just in case it does like strip my hair color, but it makes my hair feel wonderful when I use it. It makes it feel soft and nice, and I highly, highly recommend this. It says that it controls the symptoms of dandruff, I can never say this word, seborrheic dermatitis and psoriasis, and it's fragrance free. I will continue to buy it, and it has 3% salicylic acid, so it's amazing. I use this Laura Mercier Flawless Skin Moisture Cream Broadband Spectrum SPF 15, and this was a small sample I used for my day cream for, I would say this lasted me 2 to 3 weeks, which is pretty good. It had a light fragrance to it, and I don't prefer to get things that have fragrance added. I kind of stay away from cosmetic company skincare for that reason. I feel like they add a lot of fragrance to their products, so I wouldn't purchase this, but it was nice, and it was nice to have a different day cream to try. These are some of my favorite things ever. It's the LA Colors Nail Polish Remover Pads, and these were in peach. I loved this. I bought a ton of these around Christmas time to give to people as gifts, and I didn't realize that there was different scents. A lot of them were strawberry, but there were a few that were peach, and I really, really loved peach. Is like my favorite scent of all time. So I absolutely loved these. I think that these are wonderful. These are $1. You can find them at Walmart and like the dollar store and stuff like that. And there's 32 pads, and they're just a really nice, like, kind of oily texture, and they just remove nail polish really, really nicely. Not like glitter polish or anything like that, but basic nail polish. These remove them so well, and it's amazing that they're acetone free and smell amazing, yet do the job. So I will definitely repurchase those. Oh, this, I had to mention this. This was so weird. This was the Go Smile Double Action Whitening Ampule. And I got this in that really awesome gift with purchase from Nordstrom. So there's barely any instructions on here besides remove cap, and with the applicator facing down, you have to pop these two things where the number 1 and 2 are and pop it to like release the whitening. This is a teeth whitening system. And then apply serum to teeth. And it says you cannot eat, drink, or rinse for at least 20 minutes. So I thought this was really interesting. I was really excited to try something different because I really do love my Crest white strips, but I don't know, it just seemed kind of cool. And it's weird because it kind of looks like a cigarette. And so it said remove cap, so I removed this, but then there's this weird thing. So I was trying to remove this for like probably 5 minutes trying to get this stupid thing off because I thought I had to take something out to apply it. But these pop, and this is the applicator, this weird little nub. So when I finally realized that, then I started putting it on my teeth, but I was like, well, wait, like, how is it gonna stay on my teeth? Do I have to like go around like this and like not put my gum, like my lips over my teeth? Like, there's just, the more I thought about it, the more confused I got. But I was like, okay, let's just try this, Megan. So I was like doing it, and it was like foaming up, and I looked like a rabid dog, and I was just like, okay, this is weird. And it kind of was like chemically, because obviously these are chemicals that you use to whiten your teeth, and I had to rinse it out almost immediately. It was such a terrible experience. Like, I absolutely hated this. And for anyone who uses these regularly and has any tricks to use them, I would love to know, because I cannot imagine these being easier for anyone than the white strips. Like, the white strips, it's all like contained within that little strip and you can take it off and whatever. This was just very, very perplexing to me, and I wouldn't try it again because I was just so confused. I used up the Dr. Dennis Gross Clinical Concentrate Hydration Booster, and I had got a set of 3 of his clinical concentrates back in May of last year, and I have used up the other 2 a while ago, and this is my only one left, and I was tempted to give it away because I didn't feel like it did anything, but since it didn't do anything, I was like, I'll just use it. I don't want to give it to someone and you know, whatever. So what I used it for was just like on the backs of my shoulders and like the back of my neck and stuff, because I can tend to get or feel dry there because I don't put scented body lotion on those areas. I'm very sensitive, like on my chest and on my back and stuff, to things with fragrance. I have to be very careful, but I do get kind of dry feelings. So I use this, and I don't think it helped, but I didn't think it hurt, so I used it up in that way, and I would never repurchase those. And I didn't think any of them were that spectacular. Okay, I had to mention this. I used up the Hutchinson's Nova Scotia maple syrup, and this was something my friend Zoe sent me from her town of Nova Scotia in Canada, and I used up the bottle of syrup, and this was some of the best syrup I've ever had in my life. I swear my dad used most of this because every time I would go to like use it, it was like so much more empty than I remember. So Zoe, I am so gonna need you to hook me up with more of this because this was so incredible, and I just had to mention it because I loved it. Alright, I used the Lemme, the Intensive Revitalizing Mask. I didn't like it. I don't think I like Lemme products other than their eye cream that I've tried. I also used up 2 of their serums, the Lifting Contour Serum and the Regenerating Serum. I just don't really love them. I don't think they do anything for my skin, and for some reason I have this paranoia in my mind that they're gonna break me out. So for that purpose, I wouldn't purchase them because I'm so scared that they're gonna break me out, even though I don't have any evidence of that happening. So I'm just not gonna really try any more Lemme products. I love their eye cream, but that's pretty much it. Okay, I use this gum Easy Through Mint Floss. This was just like the thing that my dentist gave me last visit, and I hated this floss. This was like plastic in between my teeth. I love the Johnson & Johnson Mint Wax Floss. That stuff is amazing, and I just wanted to use this up, so I would never recommend that. Okay, I used up some Polish Choice samples that Peachy sent me, and they were the Earth Sourced Purely Natural Refreshing Toner. This was kind of cool. It was like a more creamy toner than I've ever used before, and it says that it's ideal for baby too, so it must be very, very natural, and it says 100% fragrance free, no added dyes, no animal testing. I did like this. I would need to use it more to see if it actually did anything for my skin, but for a toner, I thought that this was really nourishing. Usually toners are more stripping in my opinion, but this was really nice, and I might look into that. The Resist Optimal Results Hydrating Cleanser. I didn't really find this to be extra special to me. It was okay, but I didn't love it. This I did like though. This is the Skin Recovery Hydrating Treatment Mask, and this is just basically a really thick moisturizer that you can either use all night or you can just like put it on and remove it. One night I did leave it on all night, and one night I just used it as a normal mask, and I did really like it. I have been interested in trying more hydrating masks, and this might be one that I purchase. So thank you so much, Peachy, for sending me those samples so I could try out some Polish Choice stuff, because those things I probably would have never picked out for myself to try, so I really enjoyed that. This I loved. This is the Ziaja. Oh my gosh, I'll have to type down here what it's called. This is one of the masks that Anna sent me, and this is the only one that I've tried so far from this brand. I have a ton that she sent me, but I really like this one. I thought that this was purifying, but didn't feel as harsh as like Glam Glow or the Bliss Multifaceted. It was just really, really nice, and I really enjoyed it. So I can't wait to use the other ones. I might use another kind tonight. So yeah, I've been loving that. The Fresh Soy Face Cleanser, one of my favorite cleansers that I've tried. Love it. Eve L'Homme Cleanser. I've had several samples of this recently and in the past, and I do like it, but I don't think I would want to get more samples of it in the future. Usually I only pick the sample because it comes with a muslin cloth, and I think that's really cool, but the cleanser itself I don't think is notable. First Aid Beauty Face Cleanser, love that. Philosophy Miracle Worker Overnight, I love this nighttime moisturizer. I have gone through a ton of small samples and deluxe samples of this moisturizer, and I really think that it's wonderful. So it's something I might purchase in the future. It's more for anti-aging, so maybe when I get more in my 30s or something, I might like turn to this for a nighttime moisturizer, because it's really nice and just really nourishing and wonderful for your skin, but I always enjoy using that. The Verso Super Facial Serum with Retinol 8, and this is the serum number 4. This, first of all, let me say, this packaging for a sample, for a skincare sample, is genius. You fold it like this, and you can squeeze it out this way. So it's very hygienic. You can get just the right amount every time. It was great. This is an extremely, extremely expensive skincare line. They sell it at Sephora, and that's how I got to try this. And this definitely wasn't enough for me to see any results, but I honestly can't imagine me purchasing a full size of this. This is $120 for this serum, and the reviews are so positive, and I am really happy for anyone who uses this that it works for, but I just can't see myself anytime in the foreseeable future purchasing this, because I would need a lot more samples to make sure that it was worth it for me to invest in, so probably won't purchase that. Kiehl's Creamy Eye Treatment with Avocado. I really love this. This has been the eye cream that I've been using basically for the entire month. I'm using another sample now, and I thought I would have another sample in here, but this is really nice and hydrating for my nighttime eye cream. I really love it, but I basically try to get eye cream samples anytime I can so I don't have to buy eye creams, but I do really like that. Oh, here's another Paula's Choice product, the Hydrolite One Step Face Cleanser. I don't really remember this one, so I probably wasn't that impressed with it. The Ole Henriksen Pure Truth Melting Cleanser 3-in-1 Cleansing Gelée. I really do like this. It smells nice and citrusy like the Truth Serum, and I do like it, but I like the Nude Omega Cleansing Jelly a lot more than this, and this comes in a pot, which you guys know I try to avoid that. So I took this off my wish list, and I really just want to try the Nude Cleansing Jelly, which this isn't that, but this is the Nude Brightening Fizzy Powder Wash, which is what I said I liked more than the Boscia sample I had. I really, really like this. So I want to try this from Nude and the cleansing jelly in the full size because I'm really intrigued by those. Purity Made Simple from Philosophy. Not my favorite face wash. This has such a cult following, but I am not part of it, and I just never really like it any time I use it. Alright, the Soap & Glory Face Soap and Clarity Vitamin C Facial Wash. I have had several samples of this and I like it. I don't love it. Tatum sent me a more deluxe sample of it, which I will use, but it's not something I would purchase. And finally, I used a really interesting sample. This is the DermaDoctor KP Duty Dermatologist Body Scrub with Chemical and Physical Exfoliation. So this is if you have keratosis pilaris, which is basically like if you have bumpy skin on your upper arms or any part of your body that it's not like acne or something, but it's just like your bumpy skin. And I never knew what it was until I think my junior year of college when I got like crazy obsessed with it and I was like Googling it all the time. But basically the only way to basically deal with it, you can never really get rid of it, but you need to exfoliate. And so what's cool about this is a really intensive physical exfoliant, but also has chemical exfoliants. It has a chemical peel and microdermabrasion, and you use this on your body, and I really liked this. I'm not sure though if this is better than just using a scrub every day, something cheaper. This is pretty expensive, but I did really, really like it, and it definitely did a great job at keeping my skin nice and smooth. And I would more so invest in this for summer, like spring and summer, when my arms will be exposed and I really want my skin to look nice. So it's something I'll definitely keep in mind, and it's on my Sephora like loves list, so I'll remember it. But for right now, I'm not gonna invest in this, but this is definitely something interesting if you deal with KP to try out from Sephora. It was really, really nice. Alright, so that's everything, you guys. This is gonna be a hella long video because I had to like tell my camera to keep recording, which means that I've been talking for way too long. But I'm so excited with all this stuff that I used up this month. Like you guys can tell, I'm trying to get through a lot of things, especially samples. And I hope that you found these reviews helpful. I love Empties videos. They're one of my absolute favorite videos to watch and to film. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you guys are staying safe and warm where you live, and don't go out driving if you don't have to. If you're in the Northeast like I am, it's like so dangerous. And I hope that if any of you guys are also sick, that you're just trying to relax and just get better and focus on yourself. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. I love you all so much, and I will see you really soon. Bye. Come on, yo. Give me a break.